Why hasn't a single Dou emperor appeared in the Dou Qi Continent since the time of the Tuoshe Ancient Emperor? Why was Xiao Xuan, who was hailed as the greatest genius of the Xiao clan, unable to break through despite his extraordinary talent? Is it merely a matter of personal limitations? Or is there a deeper structural reason tied to the very fabric of the world? In the universe of battle through the heavens, Dou Qi represents the absolute pinnacle of strength, the highest peak a cultivator can reach. And yet, for over 1,000 years, not a single individual has managed to ascend to this ultimate realm. According to ancient records, the last known Dou Qi was none other than the legendary Tuoshe Ancient Emperor. As the final Dou Qi, Tuoshe Ancient Emperor keenly sensed that the lifeblood of the Dou Qi Continent, its vitality, was nearing exhaustion. Realizing the implications, he took measures to preserve what little essence remained. He condensed the last two strands of vitality into two priceless treasures. One was refined into the Emperor's Young Pill, a miraculous item with immense potential. The other was hidden as an inheritance item, locked away deep within the ancient Emperor's cave, only accessible to those deemed worthy of receiving his legacy. Once those final strands of vitality were sealed away, the pathway to Dou Qi was essentially blocked. No matter how talented, how determined, or how powerful the cultivator, none could break through. Even those rare prodigies, blessed with unimaginable talent, were still trapped beneath the invisible ceiling left behind by Tuoshe. Among these prodigies, the most lamentable was Xiao Xuan. As a member of the Xiao clan, Xiao Xuan stood out as a peerless genius. It took him only a few centuries to reach the late 9-star Doxing realm, and he even managed to break into the half-step Dou Qi stage. His cultivation speed was nothing short of monstrous. Moreover, he didn't just cultivate, he innovated. Relying on his strength and tenacity, he subdued 3 different types of heavenly flames, something most people could never even dream of. Ordinary cultivators struggle just to control one, yet Xiao Xuan wielded 3. With the power of those flames, he even created the formidable technique known as the 3 mysterious changes of heavenly fire, an original divine art that combined his mastery of fire and fighting energy. This alone was a testament to his greatness. However, despite all this, he still failed to take that final step. The Xiao clan too was already in decline. Its Dou Qi bloodline had long since withered. In a desperate attempt to revive his clan and restore their former glory, Xiao Xuan took a drastic step. He gathered the remaining bloodline power of the entire Xiao clan and merged it into his own body, hoping that by doing so, he could forcibly push through to the Dou Qi level. But it was futile. With no vitality left in the Dou Qi Continent to sustain such a breakthrough, his efforts ultimately ended in failure. And with that failure, the Xiao clan completely collapsed. But here's the thing, vitality doesn't just disappear, it had to go somewhere. So where did it go? To understand this, we must look further back in time. In the ancient era, Dou Qi were not as rare as they are now. In fact, there were quite a few of them. It wasn't even unusual to see Dou Qi level powerhouses battling one another. The world was far more vibrant, more abundant with energy. But everything changed when the Dou Qi Continent's connection to the Great Thousand World came into play. The Dou Qi Continent is merely a lower plane, an offshoot, a fragment of the much vaster and more powerful Great Thousand World. And when the Great Thousand World faced an existential threat, an invasion by the extraterritorial evil races, those who had reached the Dou Qi level in the Dou Qi Continent felt compelled to act. They rose up and left their homeland, traveling to the Great Thousand World to stand on the front lines and protect their roots. In doing so, they made a crucial sacrifice. In order to shield the Dou Qi Continent from the corruption and chaos of the outside invaders, they sealed off the spatial passageway connecting the two worlds. It was a noble act, one that preserved the safety of their people. But this choice came at a heavy cost. By sealing the passage, they also cut off the influx of vital energy from the Great Thousand World. And without that energy supply, the Dou Qi Continent began to wither. Slowly, its spiritual essence faded, making it impossible for even the most gifted of cultivators to ever ascend to Dou Qi again. Which brings us to the present and to Xiao Yan. After finally ascending to the Dou Qi level, Xiao Yan left the Dou Qi Continent and entered the Great Thousand World, where he established the Endless Fire Domain. But surprisingly, we didn't see other Dou Qi Continent powerhouses arriving with him. Why is that? It turns out ascending to a higher world is not as glamorous or smooth as it sounds. When cultivators from lower planes like the Dou Qi Continent arrive in the Great Thousand World, they face severe disadvantages. Their Dou Qi isn't compatible with the new environment, and they need time to convert it into spiritual power. During this vulnerable transition, many are targeted by malicious forces looking to exploit their weakness. These newly arrived cultivators are like lambs thrown into a den of wolves, unfamiliar, unprepared, and vulnerable. This harsh truth explains the absence of familiar duty figures from the Dou Qi Continent. Many of them didn't survive the transition, just like Lin Dong. Lin Dong's fate is a cautionary tale. Driven by the desire to resurrect his beloved, Lin Dong negotiated with the Ice Spirit clan. But because he had no background, no influence, and no support in this new world, the Ice Spirit clan looked down on him. They didn't just reject him. They conspired with 3 heavenly supremes to ambush him. Had Lin Dong not possessed countless trump cards and an indomitable will to survive, he would have perished without a trace. His name would have vanished, forgotten even by history. Now contrast this with Xiao Yan's experience. Xiao Yan was fortunate. Upon entering the Great Thousand World, he encountered Luo Tianxian, the patriarch of the Luoshen clan. Unlike others, Luo Tianxian was kind-hearted and understanding. He not only offered Xiao Yan shelter, but also guided him through the process of transforming his Dou Qi into spiritual energy. This early support proved to be invaluable. With Luo Tianxian's help, Xiao Yan was able to adjust quickly to his new environment and ultimately save his loved ones from danger. This sharp contrast in experiences shows us a crucial truth. Fate plays a massive role in the survival of Dou Qi cultivators after they ascend. Some, like Lin Dong, face betrayal and near death. Others, like Xiao Yan, find mentors and allies. And so the mystery is no longer a mystery. There were once many Dou Qi. Some disappeared into the Great Thousand World, never to return. Others fell during the war against the extraterritorial evil tribes. Still others were slain before they could establish themselves in this new, unfamiliar realm. Only a rare few like Xiao Yan managed to survive the transition, adapt, and rise once again. And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into the mystery of the missing Dou Qi in Battle Through the Heavens. From the tragic fall of Xiao Xuan to the hidden sacrifices of ancient powerhouses and the harsh truths of the Great Thousand World, every detail reveals the price of ultimate strength. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep lore, power scaling analysis, and untold stories from the Battle Through the Heavens universe and beyond, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Got thoughts on the fate of the Dou Qi? Do you think Xiao Yan will rewrite the legacy of his world? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay strong, stay curious.